Okay, what is up, simcho? This fight is pretty particular in that you kind of have to time your heals, particularly in phase 2 and 3, because phase 2 damage is really, really high until you get past 55% to 40% to phase it. Like, it just like every turn, you just trucks and trucks and trucks. So it's very important to get through phase 2 clean. And it's a big struggle. So I tried to replicate your team as much as I could. Obviously, I've got Edge, and that's because I don't have any characters that are like the same as yours. So I've got Edge as Meia, slot for slot. They're the same characters. That's what I'm trying to do. So Edge, I've got Awakening, a pretty crummy USB that I won't end up using, but people have suggested that you get Meia's USB, which is good. It's a good one. Um, and the Arcanova Strike. And then my Lulu, just pretend she's Lulu, has Sync, although this is an ATB Sync. So you're noticing I got some better stuff than you do, but it should be okay because I don't use this until like way late, like final phase where you're home free. And also, I try to wait a bit every ATB so that it's about the same power level as Lulu Sync. And then we're using obviously USB 1 Awakening. And the thing is, I'm using for this strategy specifically, I'm using the glint that gives a 30% max HP barrier. I use it at the very start to do some cheeky stuff. This thing is lensable for 2K, 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 level 3 lenses, which is pretty expensive for a new player, but it ends up being a crutch that can be used in every piece of content, DK, Wooden, etc., etc. So it's not the worst purchase, and there are ways to do things without using this in this fight. It's just gonna be, it's just gonna take a little longer or a little bit, a little bit finesse. I honestly don't know off dome what you'd have to do differently. Probably just end up using Meia's Lunar Leviathan. So that should be fine, with or without that. And then we have Quistis. This is a very good USB to get for this character. It's used in poison, or sorry, bio, and it's a double imperil for water and poison, and it gives you an infusion, and it gives you a Def Res Mind debuff. So it's very good in Woden. Generally for 1K, I think this is worth it. But yeah, this clearly uses this. So whatever you have for her should be okay, but this definitely helps. And then finally, I took out, I would also recommend this for you. I took out all the dual cast crap and I tried to lower the power level of my characters just for the sake of making it the same every time, right? We're using Ultra Cure as a crutch, but you don't need to do it. You can probably do a Bard song or something like that, or the HA heal, which is this one. But neither are necessary. You really don't really end up using this, and that is because in phase 2, turn 3, the mechanic goes the character with the most pain, or the one that has killed the most pillars on their own, basically, like just taking the last hit of a pillar, is going to get destroyed. Like they're gonna get hit, they're gonna get hit really hard and get berserked. And one thing is Mog's Second Awakening can Asuna that stuff off. In this run I'm about to show you, that doesn't end up being the case because of some tight timing. But I'm pretty sure that's how it works. And you can time it to Asuna it every second dance. And that's what we're going to go for. So I actually end up using Wind Rhapsody first. So that's why there's some flexibility with not having this, because you can actually just do something else with Elarra at the start. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so very quickly, we're going to use Quistis to use Ultima, which is 3 hits on every single pillar. They have 7 hits worth of HP, so she's gonna eat shit. And I have to use the glint on Mog to keep her alive for the next hit, which is fine, because Elarra also glints on the same turn and then heals, so it's fine. So what this allows is for us to use 4 hit moves on Edge and Meia to target each pillar down with 1 ability each every turn. So next turn they're going to do same thing. I'm going to use Lunar Leviathan to finish the last one. And next turn Quistis is going to have 2 bars, so she's going to retarget a boss again and use USB on it, on Ifrit. Here we go, Elarra heal. And then, as we talked about, we're going to use Wind Rhapsody to save the Asuna for later. And now we need to remember to target a boss with Quistis with the USB to imperil. And each of Meia and Edge are going to hit each pillar. Now you kind of have to wait for Meia to go, or you have to wait for Edge to go first, or Meia might outspeed and take both pillars just like this. Oh no. But as you can see, it's okay because she survives. Everyone's gonna survive, unlike Game of Thrones. So it's okay. It's okay. That would have hit the pillar, so I mean, we'll let it rip, and it was fine. But usually Edge takes a pillar and then Meia takes the last pillar on her own. Doesn't really matter who takes the pain here, it's okay. So next up, we're going to start chaining with Elarra, which is already on its way. And then just spam Allegro Con Moto, basically, because she, you know, nothing else to do. And Edge should have enough to use Awakening after this hit. Meia just uses whatever skill in slot 2, or in other words, Lulu uses her slot 2 ability because her command 1 is linked. So you want to save at least 5 ability uses on that slot. And we're just gonna, you know, juggle Heroic, Harmony, and Passionate Salsa as Moogles do. Max stacks you can do in 2 dances, so you know you just do both of them. Passionate Salsa is a damage increase, so you want to get that out at some point. There's the Death Res Mine debuff, so we're doing a little bit extra damage for a few seconds. And then Edge, hopefully Cat breaks here, but he won't always. Or in other words, your Meia. Your Meia was going to come very close to Cat breaking here. It's okay if they don't. It's okay if they don't. And yes, we're just going to use ability and save the Soul Break engage for when the pillars show up. As people mentioned, you want to use the entry of the Soul Breaks to kill the pillars because they have enough hits to do so. Otherwise, you gotta do some weird cheese like I did at the very start to be efficient with time. And you don't have very much time in phase 2 to do stuff. Unlike when you visit the washroom at the workplace, you don't have very much time. You can't take your time there. So yes, we're trying to get to phase 2 70%. Your mileage is going to vary because Edge is stronger than Meia's Awakening, although I kind of try to balance it out with my Meia using Lunar Leviathan versus your Lulu using a witch ability or something like that. I don't even know what she does, but yeah, she probably does a couple extra hits. I do 40k extra damage, so give and take, it's going to take one extra turn or so. Okay, so it should be coming up this turn. And with Meia's gauge filled, she's going to target a pillar. Every DPS is going to target a pillar and take one out. So first things first. I'm just trying to figure out who is going to do what. So use one Magicite on one pillar. That gives everyone 2 pain, unlike Tupac. Every character is going to manage it on its own. I'm going to use Dance's one right away as timing for the Asuna, because it happens on turn 3. I gotta do all this within 2 turns. I got phase in 2 turns, so it's very tight. And because I don't have a USB, in your case Meia, in slot 1, I'm going to do something weird, but hopefully it works out. Okay, I targeted wrong, so it hits the boss instead. Hopefully it doesn't get to 55%. Either way, this is okay. This is an okay move. You leave it right outside of phasing point, and then you go down to 1 pillar, and you can choose to kill the last pillar, which is safe. Let's see how it goes here. After a bout of stuff, we're going to use the Awakening to bring us up to full, just in case anything happens. We're going to cast our first dance, and right here I'm just going to hit it and basically proc the pillars. Whatever happens, happens. So you target a pillar, it dies, and then the second dual cast hit goes to the boss. And in your case with Quistis, you'll have a damage barrier here. So you could actually wait on Quistis to do that phase there, and you would have a damage barrier for that hit. And because I didn't wait, I wasted 2 last stands, but it should still be okay. What last stands allow is some cheese for the final pillars. You can just ignore them, proc the HP threshold, and then eat the hit with last stand, and then heal up, and then you'll be home free. That's one way to do it too. Another way is to sack Meia and just have her die, which is probably what most people did for a while. Okay, once again, we're just going to kill 1 pillar each. In this case, for slot 1, Meia would be using a USB on a pillar, just straight up. Instead, I gotta target a pillar and bring the boss kind of dangerously low. But as you can see, the chain's running out. That's totally fine. We don't really care about the chain right now. It doesn't really affect how much damage we do to the pillars. We're always going to max out. So we got a little bit of damage on the boss. Our edge is in danger of dying, but it should be okay as long as we're tight with our heals. I'm going to use another soul break. Basically 1 soul break, 1 magicite on each pillar. That's the goal here. Okay, I'm kind of hedging against the, because next turn is, okay, no, actually we skipped the berserk, but this dance right here would Asuna it, so it should be okay either way. And now edge, I guess we gotta wait because he's got too much pain, T-pain, or maybe. Yeah, let's skip. Let's get Meia to take a stack. Yeah, he's got 6 pain already, and he doesn't have last stand. Let's have Meia do it instead. And let's queue up a heal right after this hit. The threshold is 15% under the phase, so it should be 25%. Okay. So at this point, I'm just gonna be safe. I could do it on 1 pillar, but because I don't have last down on 2 characters, I'm just gonna make sure. I'm just gonna make sure it does as little damage as possible. So edge, or in your case Meia, would be using USB for infusion, and then arcane overstrike. So I'll demonstrate it here. This doesn't give you an infusion, so my Arcane Overstrike's not going to do much. But from here, you are basically home free after this next hit at 25%. You just healed off with your Awakening heal or USB if you still have it, because you're going to have a damage barrier, so you might have more HP than me after these hits. And you're home free. Like right here, as you tank this and heal up, you're home free. You just attack. Because my middle 3 characters, or Lulu in this case, would still have Last Stand. And you just go, you press commands, you press buttons. And then Edge, this turn, after having used USB, is going to use Arcane Overstrike. And it should be over, basically. Nope, didn't have a heal, so I'm going to rely on this. I'm going to wait for a hit on... There we go, to heal back up. Arcane Overstrike, and one more hit should be doing it. Otherwise, you can just use Magicite here. Which you can also use in phase 1, because the healing is light. Just to take out a pillar. Really, like... The only thing required is using one in phase 2 for one of the pillars, because the timing is so tight. Alright, that's it. Hope you get it in your run. Peace out.